Kanye West is furious. Not frustrated, not mildly annoyed, furious. And the reason? Kim Kardashian just let their 12-year-old daughter, North West, step into the spotlight in a way that left the internet divided, shocked, and buzzing with questions. North appeared with a bold new look, blue hair, a corset-style outfit, and instantly social media went into chaos. Fans flooded comment sections, some praising her confidence, while others couldn't believe a child was being styled like a grown woman. And in the middle of it all, Kanye. This isn't just about a hairstyle or an outfit. This is about control, about values, about what it means to raise a child when your last name is West or Kardashian. And make no mistake, this story isn't just about North. It's about Kanye and Kim's battle for influence, about parenting in the spotlight, and about the cultural firestorm that erupts when celebrity kids are pushed into grown-up roles before they're even teenagers. So, let's dive deep into what really happened, why Kanye is so angry, and how this latest controversy could be the biggest Kardashian-West clash yet. The moment was impossible to miss. North West, only 12 years old, appeared in public rocking blue hair and a corset-style outfit that immediately sparked debate. For some, it was fashion-forward, a statement of individuality. For others, it was disturbing, an image of a child being dressed and presented far older than her actual age. Comments exploded online. She's only 12. Why is Kim letting her dress like that? North looks amazing. She's growing up and finding her style. This feels wrong. She's still a child. And while fans were busy debating, one person wasn't debating at all. Kanye West was reportedly furious. Kanye's anger isn't random. This has been building for years. He's always been outspoken about how he wants his kids raised. Remember when he blasted Kim for letting North post on TikTok? He said he didn't want his daughter on social media at that young of an age, dancing and posting for millions to see. For Kanye, this isn't about fashion. It's about innocence. It's about keeping his kids' children for as long as possible. He sees Hollywood as a machine that chews kids up, turns them into brands, and spits them out. So when Kim allowed North to step out in a corset, with paparazzi snapping photos and fans dissecting her look, Kanye reportedly lost it. To him, this wasn't fashion. It was Kim pushing North into adulthood far too soon. But here's the other side of the coin. For Kim Kardashian, North's outfit isn't a scandal. It's empowerment. Kim has always raised her children in the public eye. She sees North not just as a child, but as a budding star in her own right. Kim herself was criticized when she was younger, accused of being too bold, too revealing, and too controversial. But in her mind, she turned that criticism into an empire worth billions. So when she sees North dressing up, experimenting with style, and grabbing headlines, she doesn't see a problem. She sees her daughter stepping into her confidence, being creative, and owning the spotlight. To Kim, this isn't exploitation, it's parenting in the Kardashian way. But to Kanye, it's betrayal. The internet wasted no time choosing sides. One camp sided with Kanye, saying North is too young for corsets and fashion statements meant for adults. They accused Kim of repeating her own mistakes, pushing fame over childhood. The other camp defended Kim, insisting that it's just clothing, that North is clearly happy, and that people are overreacting. Let her be who she is, some argued. But the real problem? Every single comment, meme, and hashtag only made the story bigger. And bigger stories mean bigger drama between Kanye and Kim. For those who think Kanye is just being dramatic, let's rewind. He's always been fiercely protective of his kids, from calling out paparazzi for photographing North as a toddler to blasting social media platforms for exploiting children. Kanye has drawn a hard line. His children should be shielded from the public eye until they're ready. He once said he doesn't want North used by the internet to push agendas. And when she appeared on TikTok dancing and singing, he went on multiple rants, saying Kim was ignoring his wishes. So this isn't new. North's corset look was simply the latest straw. And if history tells us anything, Kanye's fury doesn't stay behind closed doors. It erupts. Publicly. Loudly. This is where it gets interesting. Kim and Kanye have always had completely different approaches to parenting. Kim embraces exposure. She lets her kids be seen, be part of the brand, be the center of attention. Kanye demands privacy. He doesn't want them marketed, doesn't want them branded, and certainly doesn't want them sexualized or overexposed at a young age. And when these philosophies clash, the fallout isn't private. It's worldwide news. This latest incident with North is just one more example of their tug-of-war over who controls the narrative of their children's lives. But let's pause here, because this story isn't just about celebrity gossip. It's about something much deeper. At what point does fashion cross the line? When does self-expression become too much, too soon? And when you're the child of two of the most famous people in the world, do you even get to choose for yourself? These are the questions people are asking. And while Kim insists North is just being creative, Kanye insists she's being pushed. Two parents, two worlds, one child caught in the middle. The reaction online wasn't just big, it was brutal. Fans began posting side-by-side comparisons of North then and now. Some pointed out how young she looked just a year ago, contrasting it with her new, mature style. Others accused Kim of living through North, turning her into a mini Kardashian before she's even a teenager. The memes started rolling in, the YouTube reaction videos flooded timelines, and suddenly, this wasn't just a parenting disagreement. It was a cultural debate. Now here's the thing, Kanye hasn't said much about this yet, at least not publicly, but Kanye's silence is never permanent. In the past, he's been quick to air grievances online, turning Instagram into his personal press conference. And if you think he won't eventually sound off about this, think again. When Kanye feels disrespected as a father, he doesn't hold back. Whether it's calling Kim out for letting North post on TikTok or dragging the Kardashians for corrupting kids, Kanye has never been afraid to go nuclear. So the question isn't if he'll respond, it's when. This controversy isn't just about an outfit, it's about control. Kanye believes Kim is undermining him, ignoring his role as a father, and shaping North into a brand instead of a child. Kim believes Kanye is outdated, too controlling, and unwilling to accept that their kids are growing up in a world where fame is the family business. Neither is backing down. And with North's fashion choices now making global headlines, the stakes have never been higher. Here's something people forget. Hollywood has a long history of pushing kids into the spotlight before they're ready. From child stars in the 90s who spiraled out of control to modern celebrity kids whose every move is tracked, the pressure has always been enormous. And Kanye knows it. He's seen it firsthand. He knows the machine chews people up and spits them out. That's why he's desperate to protect his children from that same fate. Kim, on the other hand, sees the machine differently. To her, it's not destruction, it's opportunity. Two completely opposite perspectives. One child caught in the middle. The truth is, North was destined to be famous. From the moment Kim and Kanye announced her name, she's been a headline. Fans have watched her grow up through Instagram posts, paparazzi photos, and now TikToks. And whether she wants it or not, she's already a celebrity. That means every choice she makes, from hairstyles to outfits, gets magnified 1,000 times. So when she shows up in a corset at age 12, of course the internet explodes. It's not just about fashion, it's about the symbolism. The idea that North is no longer just a kid, but a new player in the Kardashian empire. And for Kanye, that's exactly what he's afraid of. So here we are. Kim calls it fashion. Kanye calls it exploitation. The internet calls it a scandal. And North? She's caught in a storm she didn't ask for. But the question remains, will Kanye stay silent, or will he launch one of his infamous public tirades that blows this story wide open? Because if he does, this won't just be about North's outfit anymore. It'll be about parenting, power, and the never-ending battle between Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. And that's where things get really interesting. If you followed Kanye West over the years, you already know, silence isn't his strong suit. He's the kind of man who doesn't just feel emotions, he broadcasts them. From storming stages at award shows, to calling out fashion giants, to dropping unfiltered rants online, Kanye believes in speaking his truth, no matter the cost. So when he sees Kim letting their daughter be dressed in a way that, to him, screams Hollywood corruption, you can bet he's not going to take it quietly forever. The question is, how will he respond? Will it be an Instagram post, a paparazzi rant, or even a song lyric that immortalizes his frustration? Because if history is any indicator, Kanye won't just let this slide. But while Kanye is loud, Kim is calculated. She's mastered the art of silence, of letting the internet argue while she keeps building her empire. Every scandal somehow turns into a bigger brand deal, a new season of the Kardashians, or a viral moment that only fuels the family's relevance. To Kim, there's no such thing as bad press, especially when it comes to her kids. The more people talk about North, the more North becomes a star in her own right. So while Kanye fumes, Kim just lets the storm swirl. And in the Kardashian playbook, that's not recklessness, it's strategy. Now let's not forget something. North isn't just a pawn in this battle. At 12 years old, she's already shown a fiery, outspoken personality. Remember the times she's clapped back at paparazzi? Or when she roasted Kim on TikTok? North has spunk, confidence, and a mind of her own. That's part of what makes this situation so complex. Is North being pushed into this by Kim? Or is she genuinely enjoying expressing herself through bold fashion choices? Kanye sees manipulation. Kim sees self-expression. But maybe, just maybe, North is carving her own path. What makes this even deeper is the generational gap between Kim, Kanye, and North. Kanye was born in the late 70s, Kim in the early 80s. They both grew up in worlds where fame wasn't instant, where kids weren't raised on social media, where mistakes didn't become memes. But North? She's Gen Alpha. She's growing up in a world where a 12-year-old can go viral overnight, where TikTok stars her age are already millionaires, and where attention is currency. To her, fame isn't a monster, it's normal. But to Kanye, that's exactly the problem. We can't ignore the elephant in the room. Hollywood has a devastating history with child stars. Look at Lindsay Lohan, Britney Spears, Amanda Bynes. The list goes on. Kids thrust into fame too early often face struggles that haunt them for life. Kanye sees those examples as cautionary tales. He doesn't want North to be the next child chewed up by the industry. But Kim sees those same examples differently. She'd argue those kids didn't have the kind of empire or resources the Kardashians have. She believes she can guide North through fame without the fallout. The problem? No one knows who's right until it's too late. As the internet keeps debating, fans are starting to polarize. On one side, Team Kanye argues he's just being a protective father. They say Kim is repeating the same mistakes she's always made, turning her kids into brand extensions. On the other side, Team Kim argues Kanye is controlling, outdated, and unwilling to adapt to a new era where kids grow up differently. They say Kim is letting North be herself, and that Kanye is trying to stifle her. And in between, millions of fans who can't stop watching the drama unfold. What makes this battle even more intense is how much power narrative holds. When Kanye speaks, he paints Kim as a villain who exploits children. When Kim acts, she frames Kanye as unstable, bitter, and out of touch. Both narratives are powerful, both are dangerous, and both shape how millions of people see their daughter North. This isn't just a family argument. It's a PR war. So where does this all go? North West is only 12 years old, but already she's at the center of one of the biggest celebrity parenting battles of the decade. If Kim continues on her path, North could very well become the next big star of the Kardashian dynasty. Fashion deals, reality TV spin-offs, maybe even her own beauty line before she hits 16. If Kanye gets his way, North will step back from the spotlight, avoid the pressures of fame, and grow up shielded from the chaos of Hollywood. But here's the truth. The spotlight isn't going anywhere. North was born into it. Whether she likes it or not, whether Kanye approves or not, the world is going to keep watching her every move. Now, here's something critics love to point out. Kanye himself isn't exactly a stranger to using the spotlight. When he wants to promote an album, he has no problem putting his family into the narrative. When he wants to make a statement, he knows the media will follow. So some argue Kanye is being hypocritical, that he wants the spotlight when it benefits him, but hates it when Kim controls the narrative. But Kanye would disagree. To him, there's a difference between using the spotlight and sacrificing his kids to it. And that's the line he insists Kim keeps crossing. At the end of the day, North isn't just a kid anymore. She's a symbol. To Kanye, she represents innocence, purity, and the battle to protect children from Hollywood. To Kim, she represents the future of the Kardashian empire. A young star who can carry the torch and redefine what it means to grow up in the public eye. And to the public, she represents the cost of fame. The uncomfortable truth that sometimes kids don't get to choose. If history has taught us anything, it's this. Kanye doesn't stay quiet forever. When the next big public event happens, whether it's a fashion show, an interview, or even a late-night Instagram rant, expect Kanye to address this situation head-on. And when he does, the headlines will write themselves. The feud will reignite, and the internet will once again divide into camps, arguing over who's right and who's wrong. The only guarantee, North will be at the center of it all. But maybe the real takeaway here isn't about Kanye or Kim at all. Maybe the bigger question is about us, the audience. Why are we so obsessed with celebrity kids? Why do we click, share, and comment every time North shows up in a new outfit? Why do we treat her childhood like a Netflix show we're all subscribed to? Because the truth is, as much as Kim and Kanye are battling over their daughter, it's the public that keeps feeding the fire. And in a way, that might be the scariest part of all. So what do you think? Is Kanye right to be furious about North's fashion choices? Or is Kim just letting her daughter be herself? Drop your thoughts below, because this debate is far from over. And if history has shown us anything, it's that when Kanye finally breaks his silence, the entire internet will explode. Until then, one thing's clear. This isn't just about fashion. This is about family, power, and the price of growing up in the spotlight. And for North West, the world will be watching.